So, why do so many AI pilots fizzle out? That's the question we're tackling today. Welcome back to the AI Strategy to Action series. I'm Patricia Johnson Fung. Joining me again is Siva Gandikota. Today, we're diving into why AI pilots stall and in what areas in the environment need to be a factor, at least to get that MVP going. So, let's quickly recap where we are at in the series. Part one, we set the stage with a high level introduction on how to define AI strategy and priorities, supported by a maturity assessment. Part two zoomed into a focused example, building in an IT PMO AI strategy. Part three, we explored use cases 3.1 specifically customer and business, 3.2 program managers, and 3.3 development team use cases. Now we're in part four with the challenges and adoption. Today's focus, 4.1, is on early adoption, why AI pilots fail. Next, plan on moving into 4.2, sustained adoption, scaling AI across the enterprise. So, why do AI pilots fizzle out? The truth is, adoption isn't about the brilliance of the tool, it's about readiness of the environment. Pilots don't fail because AI is weak, they fail because the systems, guardrails, people aren't aligned. And here's something we've seen time and time again. Organizations stall when they expect perfection from the start. AI pilots are meant to be kind of the minimum viable products at the beginning, those MVPs. They're experiments designed to test, learn, iterate. If you wait for flawless outputs, you'll never move forward. The goal is to build confidence step by step, keeping these areas as part of the plan to avoid those surprises, those big roadblocks, not to necessarily deliver a polished solution on day one. I'm going to hand it over to Siva as he digs into each of these areas.
Thanks, Patricia. Before we dive in, one reminder MVPs are bridge between vision and scale. They expose the gaps early across the systems, data, and workflows so we can fix them before rolling it out. That is why readiness beats perfection every time. Most AI pilots stall for one reason: the systems are not ready. First, the technical foundation. If the data lives in five different tools with no unified layer, AI outputs become inconsistent and no one trusts them. Second, data hygiene. Inconsistent metadata or duplicate records create a phantom insights that instantly erode the confidence. Third, workflow friction. If AI outputs take 7 clicks and still don't match the templates, teams abandon the pilot. The lesson is simple: without clean data, solid infrastructure, and seamless workflow, AI can prove its value. Next, let us look at the guardrails. AI pilots stall when risk, governance, and ethics are not built in from day one. First, controls and governance. If AI outputs does not match the cadence or review formats, leaders reject them. Picture a steering committee dismissing an AI dashboard simply because it does not fit the quarterly review template. Second, risk and compliance. Without a clear data ownership or audit trails, team cannot explain how AI reached the conclusion. Compliance will shut down a pilot uh, the moment prioritization model cannot be traced. Third, ethics and reputation. Like favoring a project more data instead of more value erodes the trust. Imagine an AI tool deprioritizing a sustainability initiative due to incomplete data. Even hypothetical, that sparks a reputational risk. The lesson is simple. Without strong guardrails, governance, compliance, and ethics, leaders hesitate, adoption slows, and AI is seen as unsafe.
Finally, let us talk about the people side of adoption. Pilots often stall not because of technology, but because culture, leadership, and organizational structures. First, culture and mindset. When teams fear that AI will replace the judgment or they see it as a black box, resistance sets in. For example, imagine project managers avoiding a raid log, AI generated raid log, because they worry it might highlight risks they haven't logged in yet. That kind of fear can stall the adoption before it starts. Second, Ownership and accountability. Pilots struggle when no one clearly is responsible for the model. Basically, they want to know who validates it, who updates the templates, who manages the feedback loops. Picture a pilot fizzling out simply because no one updated the AI templates, leaving outputs outdated and eroding the trust. Third, the leadership and strategic alignment. Leaders may announce AI initiatives, but if they are still asking for manual updates, adoption stalls. Think of a scenario where adoption only takes off when CA begins reviewing AI dashboards live in steering committee meetings, showing a visible commitment and alignment. Fourth, the skill set and training. Without training in prompting, validating, and interpreting probabilistic outputs, team lack the confidence. For instance, a team might struggle with the AI backlog hygiene checks because they don't know how to refine prompts for clarity. And finally, operational structures. Pilots need champions, nudges, and structured rollout. Without them, usage fizzles. Imagine pilot failing because there is no designated champion to drive adoption or track ROI. So, when it comes to people, it's not just about enthusiasm, it's about trust, leadership modeling, and structures. Without those, even the best AI pilots won't stick.
So let's bring this together. AI pilots, they don't fail because technology isn't smart enough. They stall when the environment isn't ready, when systems are fragmented, guardrails aren't clear, and people aren't aligned. The real key is making sure your foundation, governance, and culture are all working together so AI can actually deliver value that you can trust. And reiterating something important to remember, you don't need perfection to move forward. Minimal viable products are okay. In fact, striving for perfection too early is what slows adoption. Pilots are meant to test, learn, iterate, not to deliver flawless outputs on day one. So here's our challenge for you. Before you launch your next pilot, pause, ask, are your MVP systems unified? Are your basic guardrails in place? And are your key people at least prepared to embrace AI? If not, that's probably where you should start. Stay tuned because in our next session, we'll be moving from pilots to scaling. Part 4.2, it's all about sustained adoption, how to embed AI across the enterprise so it becomes part of the way you work, not just an experiment. Looking forward to doing more AI on this path forward with you.